Hello everybody, my name's Stephen. I am a former very heavy drinker who had a lot of complications with alcohol over a period of about 40 years, culminating in me becoming very ill. As you can see from the thumbnail, you may have to go back to it and have another look, but I ended up with two of the major complications of too much alcohol, which was ascites fluid, where the stomach swells up, fluid which can't be, protein actually, which can't be processed by the liver, builds up in the stomach lining. It can be very, very dangerous. And malnutrition, basically. I went down to about 9.5 stone. I'm 6'3", so you imagine what I was like. There's some other videos on here which actually go through the medical process and how bad it was. But basically, if you have these relapses, which I did from alcohol, when somebody tells you, if a doctor tells you that you should stop drinking, then listen to them. I did on and off, to be fair. I did stop, but the relapse was very, 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 very common in alcohol addiction. But eventually I was told that if I drink again, I'll die. So basically, I've stopped. I have to stop, otherwise I'll die. That was 5 years ago. But what happened to me was I was a steady drinker really most of my life. And then alcohol disease or alcohol misuse really is a silent killer in a lot of cases, because it can affect all sorts of parts of your body. It's a number one, class 1 carcinogenic. It can cause pancreatitis, it can cause liver disease, it can cause strokes, heart attacks, brain diseases, blood disorders, and the list goes on and on and on. What happened to me was I was a steady drinker, and then it just built up over time. And basically what happened was I noticed that my stomach was starting to swell and became very hard. And I couldn't stop drinking because I tried all sorts of things. But I got in a bit of a mess about 2015. So 4 years of drinking alcohol, very little food, obviously I was malnourished and all this sort of thing. What can happen to you, which happened to me, was when you've been drinking a steady amount, I never drank any spirits or wine. What eventually happens is your body sort of gives up and you really can't process alcohol anymore. And so your liver becomes, the liver can't deal with the toxins really. It can also have other effects in the brain, and it can cause something called encephalopathy, which is confusion, all this sort of thing. That didn't happen to me. I was quite lucky really. But I ended up with this ascites fluid buildup and something called spontaneous bacterial peritonitis. I was hospitalized 5 years ago. Only 50% of people, or basically half of the people who get hospitalized, actually come out of hospital. So I made a good recovery, well, a fantastic recovery, to be honest, because I followed the doctor's guidelines, and I'm back to full fitness really now. However, going back to the original point, when the doctor says stop, it's for a reason, and you've got to try and focus on the benefits of sobriety, because no benefits to drinking alcohol, and it got me to the point of near death. I'm summarising this a little bit because there's other videos which go into much more detail. My point of this is just to show you a couple of photographs really on the thumbnail there. I'll try and add some to other videos of how bad I was. I'm now healthy, I can do what I like and feel free. I've got a wonderful life again. I'm a little bit older than a lot of people on this who watch this channel possibly, but I should have stopped when I was 25, 30, 35, 40 as it were, but I didn't. It's the power of addiction. You've got to fight that somehow. I've got a few hints and tips I can pass on to you, but you really have to have a desire to stop. Now, when I was advised to stop when I was younger, I didn't want to stop. I had no reason to stop. I thought, well, I enjoy a drink. I socialise with a drink. I was king of the pub, really, to be fair. Although I worked hard, I played hard as well, like a lot of my colleagues did. So the desire to stop has got to come from you. You can be told 1,000 times from people, you should stop drinking, this is what's going to happen, that's what's going to happen. But unless you actually want to stop, you won't. I've heard of many, many stories where people have been told by the doctor to stop because they've got issues, like I had. People have had surgery even. People have had liver transplants, and then they've gone back and had a drink. What's all that about? You've been through all of this pain and stress and anxiety and depression and medical issues, and then they go back and have another drink. So listen to the doctors. Feel your weight first. If somebody says you can't drink for life, don't think upon it like that. It's a bit of a bombshell when somebody says that you can't ever have a drink for your life, for the rest of your life, especially if you've been used to a drink. But take one day at a time, as Russell Brand said. He was a big addict, wasn't he? And he's managed to get himself clean. Take one day at a time. Even that's hard for some people. An hour at a time is hard for some people. So take it slowly. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and you'll get there. So I hope the photographs you see in the thumbnails will give you some sort of motivation. I think I don't want to get in that state because it was horrendous. I thought I was going to die. I was so close to death. My family thought I was going to die. All my friends, people that I knew, and it was just the worst experience of my life. Getting sober has been the best decision I ever made, and it's a wonderful life. So if you want to get sober and you want some hints and tips on how to stay sober, which is more important, then please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, just drop me a note in the comments box, and I'll see you all soon.